Hey, this is Rosa, RCG Creations. How are you? I'm bringing to y'all today a little video on a mini gatefold card. And here's my first draft. Don't pay attention to it because it's very elementary. Now, I couldn't for the life of me get the hang of what are they talking about. So anyway, so this is the basics, okay, but we're going to put it a little bit better together. So y'all are learning at the same time that I'm learning. I've never done this before. But basically it's just a regular card, but it's a mini when you want to just send something minor. But that's what it looks like when it's totally closed. And I just went ahead and inked the back of it. And I inked the front. I went ahead and put some little balloons here. And I went ahead and used the little flower theme. It's my little dragonfly. And I used the hot off the press mini gatefold card. This was printed back in oh, you know what, it doesn't say, but I know this is over 10 years old. Nope, there's no date on here of when this is printed, but anyway, there's the information, hot off the press right there. That's a mini gatefold, and you get to make all these are the same size. They're the main base of the card is 4x4. That's what this main base card. So this is 4x4 all the way around. Then you cut it at a 1-inch increments, and then that's where you would fold. And then the center, because they even give you the little templates here. Now this is for to fussy cut. This is not using any electronics or cutting tools or any dies or anything like that. This is the old-fashioned cutting templates. Okay, and I went ahead and just made the one with the little flowers. So you would cut out 2 of these, draw this out, and I went ahead and I did do a sample here. Let me show you. So here's the main base, the 4x4, and then here you cut out 2 of these, that's going to be in the front, and they're also 4x4, okay, and then this is a little added piece. Okay, so I went ahead and cut the main shell, the main base out of cardstock, and as you notice here, I'm recycling my cardstock because I'm going to put this on top. And no one's ever going to see anything on the back because the back's going to get covered also. Okay? So all this is going to be covered. But this is a nice, good way for you to recycle your cardstock that maybe didn't print like on this one here. Let me show you. No, that's not it. I want to keep these pieces together. See here where I had printed, but the ink had messed up. So I didn't want to waste it because there's nothing wrong on the other side. This project can be fine. So I save my scraps like this because this makes a great card base, especially if you're going to cover it up anyway. So anyway, that's this one. Oops, no, there it is right there. So what I did is I went ahead and cut out the paper that I'm going to put on top for each flap. I went ahead and lined it up, cut it all up. I fussy cut all that. Fussy cut the main base square. So we're going to put this all together now. But what I wanted to show you is, let me move this out of the way here first. I am using the sticky specs, and this is adhesive that you can use over and over and over and over and over to make a sticker out of your paper. So we're just going to lift it up. We're basically, I've never done this before, so this is my first time using it, so please be patient with me. And if any of y'all want a template like this, I'll be more than happy to print this out and email. I can definitely email it to you, or I can hand deliver it to you at the next crop that we're having in a couple of weeks at that I host, or I can just just somehow we'll get with you and all that if you want it. And for those who are out of town, just let me know and I'll send it to you as a PDF. Okay. So let me put this out of the way here. So on the sticky specs, what it is, it's got a filament, and then it's sticky. And see, there's a sticky part right there. So I'm going to turn this around because I don't want to use this whole sheet. I only want to use part of it because I'm supposed to be able to do this several times. So I should be able to do all of these with this one sheet. So I'll be careful because when you touch it on your fingers, you get a piece of the sticky adhesive on there. So there it is. Oops. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to line this up, hold this over. Let me put something here to hold that down. And because I'm a cheapskate, I'm going to use as much of this stuff as I can. I'm going to get there. Then you rub on it. And then you peel it off. Oh, and you can see where some of the sticky stuff's not there. But this is all sticky. Okay, so if this is just like using your Xyron machine, that type of thing. It's just another form of adhesive. Oh, come on, this is... I want to tell you, this is very, very sticky. It's like, okay, this is really sticky. But it does say this is... it's repositional, so once you put it on, if you mess up, you can always remove it again. So I'm just going to get one little corner. Let me get over here out of the way here so you can see. I'm just going to get one little corner and try to get it as close as possible to the shape. Oh, let me get my bone folder out. You always, whenever you're using a double-sided adhesive, you always want to use your bone folder. And let's see. I've got a piece of sticky here. I can just see it. I've actually felt it. So I'm just going to rub on it and get that off because this is on my card, the front that you're going to be able to see. And I don't want it to be seen. So you just, it's kind of like your ATG gun. You just rub it with your fingers and it comes right off and it doesn't leave any residue. So that's pretty good on that. And then you can see on the edge, I was pretty darn close to the whole entire edge. So I don't need to do any trimming because it's close enough for me. Okay, so I made that one. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And I'm going to put this on top of that. So let's see, let's go right back to the same spot that we were at. Let me get you back in focus and frame here. And let's see if I can do the exact same thing again. Oh, that's not going to work. Rub it. A friend of mine told me about this stuff. She loves it. And it's got little speckles, but it's not good enough for me. I want more control. So, see how I just barely tapped it? Okay, and you can actually, when you pick it up, pull it to the light, you can actually, I don't know if you can see this in the camera, you can see where the adhesive is there. So this is really great instead of using this. So whenever you're doing little designs or shapes like this is really good in using something like this versus your ATG gun. But I didn't get the very tip, and I definitely want the very tip. So I'm just going to touch this on here until it gets all over there. And from what... I don't see how you're going to be able to... It says, she told me that you can use it over and over and over. I don't see that. I think this is just a one application use and that's it. Because there's no more sticky here at all. There is no sticky here at all. That's disappointing because the reason I bought this was... Because I have my Xyron, you know, but the Xyron's a one-time use. And I got this because I thought you could use... It doesn't say that on the advertisement. See here, I'm going to show it to you. It says sticky specs. And here it tells you about information on it. And then let me put it on there so you can know if you want to get online, order those yourself. But I got mine from Jen Evers at Quality Crafts. And she's got a YouTube channel. But it's from ECTSTASYcrafts.com. So E as in Edward, C as in cat, STASYCRAFTS.com. And it's called Sticky Specs. I do like it. I'm just disappointed in the fact that you can't reuse it. I do like the fact that it's repositional, so once you've used it, you can pull it up, move it if it's not where you want it. But I'm disappointed that you can't use it over and over. Because this is the same thing as that permanent adhesive that I have. Those bigger 12 by 12 sheets. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to use all of this stuff. and use this whole thing. You know, actually you do have some speckles. I think it's because it's got the little dots. And in fact, if you see that right there, the sticky adhesive is all tiny little dots. So I guess this is where she said that, where she meant that you can use it over and over, because under one application you don't get every single dot. And I can definitely see that, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little disappointed with this, because to me this is a waste of time. I'd rather just put this to my Xyron machine. I have the 5-inch one, and just do one sweep and over and I'm done with. And then it gets the whole thing. In fact, the next one I'm going to show you, I'm going to use the Xyron, just so you see it. It's like right here, this is where the fold needs to be. I need that to have glue, and there's no glue there. So let me get back. Let me push this back. Okay, it's getting it, but it's not getting it everywhere. I will tell you, I'm not too pleased with this. And maybe it's because I've been using the Xyron for so long that I'm so fast with it now. It's not a big issue for me. And this is taking too long. This is way too long for me. Okay, so it's on there. Let me line this up. I'm just going to hold it right there because it is sticky. I'm just going to put it on one of the petals and let it fall on the other one. And let it position itself. Okay, and get the little sticky adhesive off my fingers. Well, I will tell you, get the sticky stuff everywhere. It's on both sides of my fingernails, and it's a mess. Yeah, I just soon use my Xyron on this. Okay. So it worked. You can see that. I will have to fussy cut, but you always have to do that anyway. So what I would do next time is let me get where's my template? What I would do is I would just cut this whole square, put the adhesive on there, and then fussy cut it on there. That way you don't have to worry about fussy cutting twice. To see that, you're going to have to fussy cut twice. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the video for a minute, fussy cut that, then I'm going to get the Xyron to show you the other side, to show you the difference. I'll be right back. I'm just checking, make sure the camera's back on. Okay, so what I've done with the other side, there's the one that I did with the sticky specks. Now here's one with the Xyron, and I have the Xyron Creative Station. This is a 5-inch one. I also have the Creative Sticker, which just does stickers. This particular Creative Station does stickers, the different type of adhesive, permanent, reusable, repositionable, magnetic sheets. If you want to make some magnet sheet, like refrigerator magnets, and do it yourself, you put it on there, and that works. I keep that one. I have the other one that's for sale if anybody wants to buy it. It's a Creative Sticker that does nothing but stickers. That's all it does, is just stickers. This one does so much more, so I'm keeping this one, and the other one's in my stash for garage sale. But anyway, so you just run it through, and I messed up, and I wasted all this. But that's okay. This is not wasted, because I'm going to pull this, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to use it just like I did the sticky specks on a smaller project, not something this big. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just trim this down. Again, like I said, because I'm not gonna waste this. I'm gonna just use this and save it as my sticky speck stuff. Okay, and then this part here is also sticky speck, and I'm gonna show you in just a minute what I'm talking about. So this is all still good stuff, because sometimes, especially on these smaller little dies, like I did here. Here's a little balloon. I haven't colored it or anything, but I'm going to, just like I did on this one here. So I'm going to take it apart. All you do is just pull it apart. And you got stickies. All the glue and adhesive is right here. So you can use that, which is what I'm going to be using with this, and use it to put on my paper. It's not totally wasted. The only thing that's not, see, hopefully you can see that. Let's see if you can see this. Whoops. Yeah, see how sticky it is? See that? It's stuck. It's on there, so there's no getting it off. But look, you can see here, there's the sticky still there. And this is the part that doesn't have the sticky because it's now on here. So this is reusable, and if you're careful, when you take it apart, especially since there's so many pieces, that's only for those people who are like me, very frugal and want to use all the little pieces, especially when they have a lot more that they're going to be using on the same project that's smaller. Like, say, for example, like on this one here. Oh, gotta be careful. It's sticky. Like on this little dot, when I get ready to glue it, I can just stick it on here, and I can reuse that adhesive. So I'm just going to use it on the paper backing. I'm going to save it until I get ready to use it again. So I'm just putting that here on the side until I get to it later. Okay, so here's all the sticky stuff. We're all good to go. But look here, I noticed I missed the bottom half. So I cut this a little too, I started it too not soon enough when I was rolling it to the machine. So this part didn't get adhesive on it, but that's okay. I'm just going to get some wet adhesive. And again, I want to make sure you see that. I'm going to tilt it so hopefully you can see that in the glare. You see the part with this little strip that just got no adhesive on it, and this part that did. So I'm just going to go ahead. I got to angle this so I can see where the glue is at. And because I want to make sure the whole thing is glued down. And I'm just going to add some wet adhesive to it. We're good to go. Let me close up my jar, because if I leave it up too long, it will dry up. Then I have a big mess to clean afterwards, because I have to clean out that nozzle, put some water, run it through some stuff, and it's like, ugh. I don't like to do that if I don't have to. Okay, so now, so I can measure myself, because I want to make sure this is pretty right. Okay, I got the right side. With my finger, my pinky, I'm holding this down so it doesn't move. And I'm only going to be using these 3 fingers to maneuver it, okay? This is just going to get you a really right close so you don't go off your page. And I'm just I haven't even touched it yet. And I'm putting it on there. And there I go. And see? Yes, I'm off, because you know what? Nobody's that well, I mean, I'm sure some people are, but see, I'm off just a little hair here, and I'm off just a hair here, but that's okay. I'm just going to trim that off. That's so minor, I'm not going to worry about it. But guess what? Look, it's all stuck. It's on there, it's stuck, it ain't going anywhere, it's stuck on there. That's the one thing about the Xyron, it's permanent. So once, as you see, once it sticks, you're done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this together. And I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and do the trimming on this so I can put everything together. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now I'm going to ink the back side, because as you can see, the colored part is the front part, but then the back, when it opens on one of them, but I'm going to go ahead and do both, because just in case, see here, I didn't have that one, I forgot to color that one on both of those, and I don't like that, because you never know, somebody can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and color these. I'm just going to use my I'm actually using Versacolor Ultimate Pigment ink. This one is called Petal Pink VC 134, and I'm just using my blending brushes, and I'm just going to color. I'm only going to do the flower. I'm not going to do the whole thing, because this is going to be behind, so I'll bring you back to that when I'm done. Okay, now I'm back to putting these pieces together, and here's where I inked the back of that one. Now I will tell you, since I'm using wet glue, I went ahead, of course you got to score this at 1 inch from this fold here to here, because that's where it's going to go. And because this is paper and cardstock together, it's a little thick, so definitely score it to make it easier for yourself. Now I'm just adding some wet glue. Make sure you get it all to the sides. And I'm doing wet glue because it's easier to move around, because this is a little thick, it's kind of small. You want to have some maneuverability, so I would do wet glue versus using double-sided adhesive, because double-sided adhesive does not give you That doesn't allow you to move it. There's that word. I can't say it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Then what you want to do is you want to line up this folded edge with the edge here. So have it this way. Actually, I'm going to close my glue before it gets dried up. Before the nozzle dries up. Okay, then you're going to, because this is going to be an overlap area here. Let me do it this way. I'm right-handed. And I'm going to put it right here in the center. And I want to make sure I'm lining it up as close to the edges as possible. This is off a little bit, but that's okay. I'm good with that because I will trim this down anyway. So we're good. I'm going to press this together. You see where I lined that up right there? I've lined it up right here. And then when it's all done, I will trim off the extra edges. Now you do get an overlap section here. But for some reason that's just the way it is. I don't know why they did that. But that's part of the way the template works. Okay, so we don't have any options on that one. Personally, I would rather do one with just a solid piece. But, you know, it's really not going to be seen that much to begin with. But there's to make sure that folds. Now, don't fold this down. Fold here. So you can fold it down and give yourself a crease. Use your bone folder because this is going to 3 layers of, there's paper, cardstock here, the cardstock here, because it's on the cardstock on this part here. So it's kind of thick. And then there is your fold. See? So that's your little mini gatefold card. And there it is. But then you decorate it however you want to decorate it. And I'm going to get these little balloons, get this little flower, get this little dragonfly. I'm going to ink all this up. I'm actually going to put paper on it. I'm going to ink it all up. Or I might just ink it. I really don't know yet. So I'll bring back with the finished project and you'll see that. And then you'll see where I've trimmed the edges here. Because I don't want those to be seen. Yeah, this is off a little bit. But I'm okay with that. Because I'm just going to ink this part here that didn't get cut off. Why it didn't cut off, and if you notice it's kind of crooked here, I personally don't like that. So I think I'm going to tweak this more, and then I'll bring you back on another video. But you get the main gist of it. And I did do the measurements. So the base card here is 4x4. The ATC, the attachment, which is this part right here, okay, is on a 4x4 also. Then you get your little angles, okay, and I don't know why the angles are here. I really don't see a point in that. Also, the same thing is I don't see a point in putting it halfway through. Why don't you just go all the way? So, and let me go ahead and do the measurements, and I'll show you the measurements right now. So, okay. So actually, what you can do is cut out the flower part, but I would just stop at the 1-inch mark and not even go there, and leave this one totally open. And then you can put your centerpiece on here. You would decorate the base part, and then put the centerpiece on there. Or go ahead and cut only one of these at 1 inch, and then the other one would be should be at 3 inches. Okay, because let me stretch that out. Yep, that would be a 3-inch gap because this is the 4th inch right here. Because it's 1 inch, 1 inch, and this is 2 inches right here. And let me get my measurements. Yep. So I'm going to jot little notes on here that I would do one at 4x1, another one at 4x3, and then you have the 4x1 layer first. Then the 4x3 over, that way it's one solid piece right here, instead of, see where it's edged right there, and then you would have the edges, and then I would do no corner tips at all. I would just have it straight. I wouldn't even bother with the corner edges, because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't see a reason for it. I don't see a need for it. And then also it should line up a lot better for you, so you won't be off on the card base, because this is 4x4. I already measured it. This is 4x4. And I measured this twice. This is 4x4. In fact, here, let's see. Let me get my ruler here. Okay, actually, it's 2 little notches from 4, which is the gap from here to here. That's right there. So I did not cut this properly because I'm off. So, in this particular sense, I would make sure you double check your measurements before you cut, because you have to be right dead center. And then also, if you notice it kind of overlaps, it doesn't close as smooth as this one. See how that closes smoothly? And I'm wondering, this is only one layer of cardstock. I didn't put any paper. This I've got paper on top of cardstock, paper and cardstock. So this is technically 1, 2, 3, 3 layers. Technically 4, because that's paper, cardstock, paper, cardstock, paper, and cardstock to the base. So that's really 4 layers, and that's probably why it's off. And then also you could see the little layers right there that'll need to be trimmed. So I would consider this a fail. I would not consider this something that I would continue to do until I tweak it. But I mean, most of the time it's not going to be totally closed anyways. People are going to leave it open so they can sit on their desk, unless you want to create a belly band, and that way it stays shut. But you know, the whole point is for you to see the center of the card, not the whole thing. So it sits up just like this, and then when you close it, there's your little flower right here with your little dragonfly and another flower just for an accent piece. So, but anyway, I'll come back and show the finished project, and then that'll be it for this video. But then I will touch this up before I post to get better measurements on the base card here for you. Okay? I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I went ahead, and one thing about crafting is when you kind of mess up, you can always fix it with something, right? So what I did is I put washi tape on the border edges, and I had to worry about cutting it or trimming it, and it turned out cute, see? And it's all sparkly too. And then there's the inside of it. And then I went ahead and I still got to stick that down because I just hasn't had time to really stick to it. And I went ahead and with the little balloons, I colored them out, and I go, let's do lunch. So this is something cute and simple that you want to give to somebody, or you can put it, if you're in a cubicle, you can put it on their table, write your name on the back of it or whatever. Oop, and I put some little seed beads. My little seed bead just fell out. I said, I gotta get some glue to put that on there. Then a little dragonfly, and I'm gonna show you the back. See where I colored it. I was off just a little bit here, but you know, I'm not gonna worry, sweat it, because you know, this is not really to give to anybody. It's just a sample to have. I will give it to somebody, I don't know who, but I'll fix all that up first, and I'll color that in or wipe that off. But that's what happens when you use recycled paper when it's got writing on it. You got to be careful when you cut stuff out. Like I wasn't paying attention, and I shouldn't cut this out showing that little black on the black of that white cardstock. But you know what? It's okay. I'm okay with it. And it's, as you can see, look, it still stands up, and it does close. Yes, it's a little bit off, but it does close. Okay, and not as close. It doesn't close as well as this one. But then again, like I said, this has got mostly cardstock. This is just one sheet of cardstock, and the rest of it's paper. I mean, actually, copy paper. It wasn't even printed paper. It's just copy paper. So it's really lightweight. But this is the main gist of it. Oh, and I wanted to show you what I did is I have these. I got these. These were in with something else. I forget what they were. But they're little plastic templates, and in here is the little balloon, and this is what I used. I drew it out, and then I cut it off, and that's why I got the little balloons on the inside. So this whole piece pretty much was done by fussy cutting. Everything except for this part, let's do lunch, I did cut on my Cricut with a Cricut cartridge, but everything else was fussy cut. And I manually fussy cut it, and I manually colored it with my Spectrum Noir marker sparkle pens. Make all the glitter. I hope you can see that. There's a little glitter there. And then with a little sparkly washi tape. It actually turned out kind of cute on the back. Other than the little mess up right here. But, you know, I may do something with that. I don't know yet. But anyway, you get the main gist of it. And again, this is made with hot off the press, which is from Paper Wishes. So it's www.paperwishes.com, And this one, it was printed on 2015. And this one's called the Mini Gatefold Card. HOTP, hot off the press, number 7443. You can look on their website. I don't know if it's still sold, or maybe they probably have something newer. I really don't know. Because like anything, any manufacturer, some stuff they keep and some stuff they just don't make anymore. But you probably can find it on Amazon or eBay or something if you want to get this particular template. But again, like I said, just post me a comment with your personal information, and I'll be happy to give you a sample just like I have right here. And I'll put the measurements and everything just like I have here. So that way you can go ahead and create your own, and I'll put this in the mail to you, or I'll create a PDF for you. Whichever one you want to do, doesn't really matter to me. But just let me know. And I thank you very much. Thank you for watching. You have a wonderful day. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.